Time now for the week that was. A look at the week's big story. Video was released on Friday of the 33 Chilean miners trapped since August 5th. The men appear slim but healthy. Some even sang Chile's national anthem. And rescuers have already drilled a 6-inch wide tunnel to provide them with supplies. Now they're working on a bigger escape tunnel that could take months to complete. Let's meet someone who can really relate to what the miners are going through. 13 years ago, then astronaut Jerry Linenger was stranded for 3 months aboard the Russian MIR space station after it was damaged by a fire. He joins us from Tustin, Michigan. Good morning, Jerry. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, Rebecca. Thank you.
Thank you. And in this video, it's really incredible to see these miners. They seem so upbeat. What do you think it is that's helping them remain so calm and optimistic through this?
You know, I think what they've got going for them is they had that 17 days of literally being cut off, isolated. They were stuck with themselves. They had to survive. They did everything right. They worked through it very methodically. And so it's trust that gets you through it. You trust the other 32 miners, and they know they can depend upon each other. 17 days into it, a borehole comes down, and now you've got light at the end of the tunnel. And that's the other thing that keeps you going, is that hope, knowing there is an end point, whether it's Christmas, whether it's 2 months from now. They can sort of pace themselves and get to that end point.
They have something to look forward to. You bring up this point about trust, Jerry. And of course, during your trapped in space, you were with 2 other individuals. They were men, but they didn't speak a lick of English. You didn't speak their language. How key is it that these individuals, the 33 of them, get along and they make the best of the situation as a group?
You know, Rebecca, I felt so cut off, isolated, stuck with myself. We had a broken down communication system to the earth. I did speak a bit of Russian, but they spoke no English. It's very, very helpful to have other human beings, and I just craved really the diversity of mankind. You take it all for granted down here, but having other people around you, the news, the talk, the information, you just absolutely crave that. So having other people, there's a good esprit de corps. It's sort of like being out on a Navy submarine. I'm an old naval officer. You've got the other crew. You've got some diversity of mankind. So that's very, very helpful to them.
What do you think, Jerry, is going to be the hardest part for these individuals as they go through this?
It's tough. You are cut off. In my case, I was up in the heavens, cut off, isolated from mankind, and a sense of isolation I've never felt in my life before. And so the hardest thing is just dealing with your own psychological frailties. And, we've got some great DNA in us. We're old explorers. We have roots of caveman and everything else. And so we can get through these things, but you have to sort of pace yourself. You have to talk to yourself a lot. You have to keep saying, come on, keep the spirits up. That's how you get through it.
And in addition to having to do those things, in this case, Jerry, these men, they have to lose weight. They have to have 35-inch waists to get out of this hole. What do you think that part of all of this will do to the men and psychologically?
First of all, I'd put the skinniest guys up first so you don't plug that hole when they finally lift them out. But food's a great escape. And up on the Mir space station, I was sucking down borscht every day out of a tube. Jellied fish. These guys were eating until the borehole got down, and we're able to supply them with some glucose, water, and now some real food. They were eating 2 tablespoons of tuna every other day. So they were really roughing it. Food is sort of a joyous occasion, just like here on Earth. We had a French astronaut come up on the shuttle, and he brought me French gourmet food, and I'll tell you, it was a glorious moment to eat.
Well, I hope they'll be able to have that too when they come out. Former astronaut Jerry Linenger.
It'll be a glorious moment.
Thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure, Rebecca.